All right, so in this video, we'll be breaking down the funnel behind this brand called Flewd Stresscare. So if you don't know these guys, they're basically selling like bath soaks that have a lot of like minerals. So you can see magnesium, zinc, omega-3, nootropics, vitamins, L-carnitine, all kinds of stuff that you put inside your bath, and then it helps you kind of like reduce your stress levels, cortisol levels, and stuff like that. And these guys are doing some really cool stuff with their marketing, which I want to show you in this video. So let's get right into it. So here we are on their website first, but that's not really going to be very interesting to us. Let's dive deep into the Figma file first. So you can see I made this funnel breakdown inside of Figma. So the first step of their funnel is obviously going to be their Meta and Google ads. So this is the way they capture the attention of their customers. So this is basically the top of their funnel. This is how they're getting people into the funnel. So as I said, they're running Meta ads and Google ads at the moment. So let's take a look at each. So first of all, here we are inside of Meta ads library. So you can see they're running 66 ads at the moment, which is pretty cool. Not too many, not too little. It's a good amount of ads, if you ask me. So let's take a look at their headlines first. So because you can, the captions, right? Because you can see here, they're running the same caption here, 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 and they're running this variation as well. And they're running, let me find it, this one as well. So it seems like they're running those three at the moment. They have this one. So we'll go through each one of these. So let's break it down. So protect from stress and the symptoms it causes: anxiety, aches, insomnia, with first of its kind magnesium soaks. Put stress on notice in 15 minutes or less. And then we have a kind of like a list here: 99% natural, bioavailable magnesium, helps support a calm mood and deeper rest. One Flewd soak equals 14 Epsom soaks. I've tried Epsom salts, but these beautiful bags haven't made bath time a whole new experience. Stop surviving stress, start thriving, order Flewd now. So you can see this is a pretty short caption. It's nothing really extravagant. It's super simple. You just like, they capture your attention with this because kind of like the benefit protects from stress and the symptoms it causes. So it's like anxiety, aches, insomnia. So the idea is basically like protects from stress. So it's hooks you in because like it's a belief in people's mind that stress is a bad thing, but then they kind of make it more tangible and more relatable by actually saying what the symptoms are. Because when you just say stress, yeah, people are like, it's bad, but they can't really feel stress. They feel stress by actually feeling anxious, by feeling aches, by experiencing insomnia, right? So that's how you make it more tangible and easier for people to grasp the concept and for people to actually to get hooked in, right? So that's how they hook you in. Sorry about that. Put stress on notice in 15 minutes or less. So they give you a time-based outcome. So it's kind of like, okay, I don't know if you're familiar with the work of Alex Ramosi, but his first book, $100 million Offers, talks about the value equation. So we have like perceived likelihood of achievement at the top. We have the dream outcome. So this is the dream outcome. And then we have at the bottom, we have time delay, and we have effort and sacrifice. So you can see here, this is dream outcome. So they're selling you the dream, which is like you're going to feel less stress and you're not going to experience anxiety, aches, insomnia, and that sort of stuff. And they're here giving you like, yeah, you can get all of this in 15 minutes or less, which is like time delay and probably effort and sacrifice, because it's kind of like implied that it's not going to be very difficult as well. It's going to take only 15 minutes and it's going to be super simple. So then we have this 99% natural, all that stuff. So we just have some USPs and like their features, benefits, all that stuff, usual stuff, right? We have also a short review testimonial, right? In this format, which is pretty weird. I've seen brands do it more like they have this sort of a list and then they have a testimonial as the next sort of section, but it's pretty cool, right? This is very cool. Also, one Flewd soak equals 14 Epsom soaks, and then they tie down with a review, which is a pretty interesting strategy. And then just we have some sort of a closer: stop surviving stress, start thriving, order Flewd now, and they lead you to the landing page. I'm going to show you the landing page as well later on, but that's about it, what it looks like from this perspective. So we have this headline, this caption, sorry, and then we have this one. So let's take a look at that. Sleep in the warmth and relax with Flewd transdermal soaks. Serotonin boosts ability to produce more to lift mood. Cortisol reduce high levels to relax body. Adrenaline lessen its effects to calm the mind. They have a CTA. It's time to melt the tension and let go of the stress. Order Flewd bath treatments today and get to chilling. So this here seems more like a middle of funnel, honestly. I'm not a big expert in ads, but this seems like these people are kind of like the people who already know what serotonin is, what cortisol is, what adrenaline is. They're like in the whole biohacking space. They're just looking for the right solution. They're probably problem aware. They're just not solution aware. And this ads is speaking to that segment of the market. In my opinion, that's what I feel like these guys are actually doing. So you can see here serotonin. So as I said, basically these people already know what serotonin, cortisol, and adrenaline is. They already know where they want to go with each. So they know that they want to boost serotonin's ability to produce more to lift mood, right? They want to boost the ability to produce more serotonin. Sorry about that. They want to reduce cortisol. They want to lessen adrenaline's effects to calm their mind. They just need the right solution, and Flewd Stresscare is presented itself as the right solution to that, which is pretty. I like the idea of this. We kind of have a big funnel, which is like ads into landing page, into pop-up form, into email, into flows, into campaigns, right? But then we have some sort of a smaller funnel inside of a funnel, which is this ads funnel, because we have this like top of funnel and this is like middle of funnel. These people are not really problem aware. They're problem aware on the level of this. They're like, oh yeah, I'm feeling stress, I'm feeling like anxiety, aches, insomnia. And then we have people who are more like problem aware. They're just not solution aware, right? They're more into like the whole biohacking space. They just need They just need the right solution, and that's Flewd Stresscare, right? So that's really cool. Also, you can see they're running a lot of UGC ads, but also running a lot of static ads. The reason they're running static ads is because they're very easy to produce. You can produce them with AI within minutes, right? It's very easy to just recycle them to test out a lot of different creatives. So that's why I suggest you use static ads in terms of like if you're using AI. But also UGC ads like are a must. If you're not running UGC ads, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, honestly. So let me play this ad for you. Yeah. So as you can see, this ad looks like a very native post, right? Like they're running this on Meta. This looks like a native, like this looks like a reel, right? That you would see on Instagram. So you can see because the whole like scenery, it's not like a studio where you're filming ads and all of that. The caption also kind of like follows the trend, like I was today 0 years old and that sort of stuff. So it's a pretty cool ad. I'm sure this is very effective for them. And this is the kind of ads you guys need to be running. First of all, if you're not running UGC ads for your brand, you're missing out on a lot of revenue. And second, if your UGC ads aren't looking like a native post on the platform, you're probably burning money. So that's about it. Let's see this caption right now. So stress wears you down, fatigue holds you back. Flewd Stresscare bad treatments are designed to help you relax, recharge, and feel like yourself again. Calm your body, reset your mind, restore your energy. Flewd Stresscare is your turn to feel renewed. So I feel like these are like retargeting ads. Honestly, these are like just there to remind people of the existence of this brand because they're not really diving deep into any pain points. This is more like, hey, we're here, buy from us. Like stress wears you down, fatigue holds you back. People like it doesn't mean anything, right? It's kind of like pointless. It's more like just to be like, hey, here we are, buy from us, boom. So that's about it. We don't really have much to say about this caption here, and we have one more, if I'm not mistaken, but I might be. Yeah, we have this one. And we have this one. We're not going to dive deep into every single one. I think we're going to waste a lot of time to do that. You get the rough idea. So they have a funnel inside of a funnel. So their main funnel, their entire like big picture macro funnel is like Meta and Google Ads to capture attention. So like that back here. So we have Meta and Google Ads to capture attention. They're driving traffic to the landing pages. From landing pages, they're taking us to quiz style pop-up form that we're going to go over. Then we have the email welcome flow and like flows in general, but we're going to break down the welcome flow and site abandonment flow. And then we have the weekly campaigns that they're sending. We're going to break down everything. Every single thing in a lot of detail. So stick around till the end of this video, but that's what it looks like. But then we also have a small funnel inside of the ads that are more like, again, top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. So we have people that are not really solution aware, problem aware. Then we have people that are problem aware that aren't solution aware. And then we have people that are both problem aware and solution aware. And they just need to get some more reinforcement. They just need to be reminded of the brand to actually buy. So that's what it looks like inside of Meta. Now let's take a look at their Google ads. Now, I told you I'm not an expert in Meta ads and I'm even less an expert in Google Ads, but I'm just trying to give you a perspective on what it looks like when it comes to this part of marketing. My expertise is email marketing. We're going to come to that, but I just want to give you a holistic approach to this funnel breakdown. So as you can see, they're running some search ads. They're running some, these are display ads. We have some shopping ads here. You'll probably know that even better than me. But that's kind of like their strategy. You can see they're running these ads here. You can see this one. Yeah, so this is a search ad. So they're running 30% off summer sale, trends that are on bad soaps. You're actually going to see exactly why this ad is important because they have actually made a mistake on their landing page that they're still running, and I'm going to show you that. But that's about it. I just wanted to show you what they're running right now. I don't want to really break it down too much because I'm not really an expert in Google Ads, so I don't want to give you some false information. When it comes to email, we're going to dive deep into every single email, and we're going to break down every single little detail. So don't worry about that. You're going to get tons of value when it comes to email marketing breakdown. But here we are on the first landing page. So let me actually show you what it looks like here. So they have two main landing pages that they're directing people to. So we have this one and we have this one. So you can see this one here is more like a really traditional landing page. So we have a headline, sub-headline, some social proof, some reviews, and we have the CDA, and then we have some USPs, some like comparison tables. We're going to actually go through the whole thing, but let me show it the second one to you. So we have this one as well. It's kind of like blurry. That's why I'm going to show it in the browser, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like this. So you can see they're actually pretty similar when it comes to content. It's just like this one is way more, it has way more content, but overall the actual strategy is pretty similar. So you can see this one here, they have they have like USPs here, and they have like testimonial, and they have kind of like more features, benefits, and all of that stuff, which is pretty cool. It feels like it's a little bit too busy. Not sure. Like this is up to the landing page experts. But what I was talking about, the mistake I was talking about is this. So this landing page is live, and they say here, order by August 31st for guaranteed free gifts. I mean, I'm not saying this is a mistake, obviously. It's just saying that you can order by August 31st for guaranteed free gifts. If you order now, I'm filming this on 15th of September, you're not going to get free gifts, right? But I don't really understand why are they keeping this on their landing page, because I'm pretty sure this is on purpose. It's like, I mean, there's literally nothing people can do about this. It's like to get people to know that they have been giving free gifts away or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. This really caught my eye, and I was like, why do you keep it here? Like, is it just like that your marketing team is not updating it, or is there an actual reason behind this? I'm not sure, but whatever. Also, you can see how they're like giving bundles, all that to increase their AOE. Pretty standard stuff, nothing new, especially in these when it comes to these kinds of products. Again, we have social proof here. It takes you here to the review section. So we have a couple of reviews. Pretty cool. This thing here, it doesn't look very good on the desktop. This is more like mobile optimized, so I can show you what that looks like on mobile. Yeah, you can see here, looks way better on the phone. But yeah, it's fine on desktop as well. And this is something I like a lot. So these comparison tables are something I recommend you use in your emails as well, because people seem to love them. I mean, it's a really good way, like this is some sort of an infographic as well. We're going to touch on that briefly when it comes to emails. But here as well, people seem to love infographics, and especially these kinds of comparison tables, if you can make them very good and informative, right? They are going to be very, very good because people love them, because it's a super simple way to convey really important information, which is like, why should you buy from us? Like, how do we compare to the other options there are available in the market? So you can see we have Epsom salts, store-bought salts, and bath bombs. So you can see actually works. This does not actually work. This works in 15 minutes. Price, this is cheap. This is kind of like a little bit more expensive. This is the most expensive. This is like similar price, right? Then we have natural, magnesium, nootropics, vitamins, and all that stuff, right? And they're like, and also the good thing about this is that you're the one to get that gets to pick the categories you want to compare against this. Like, I'm sure there are some categories, some things that bath bombs or store-bought salts or whatever beat their product in, right? But they're actually framing it in a way that's beneficial to them, where they're framing it in a way that is basically like putting their product as the best option, which might not be objectively true, but they're just framing the narrative around it, which is a really good way to sell it, right? Obviously, I mean, you're not going to be like, you're probably not going to objectively compare your product. You're just going to take the strengths and like hide the weaknesses. That's like the way. Welcome to marketing, right? But that's why these comparison tables are something I really love. For your emails and your welcome flow, you should definitely put it. You should occasionally send like campaigns that are like us versus them, stuff like that. People seem to love that because it really does help them make a decision. It's super simple to consume. It's super interesting to consume, honestly. Like looking through all these categories, comparing different products. Like, yeah, this is natural. So this is processed. This is 99% natural. And all that stuff. Pretty cool, honestly. So this is something I recommend you implement in your email marketing and your landing page as well. They have it on their website as well, I'm pretty sure. So pretty cool thing. What's inside those Stresscare soaks? So they have a breakdown of every single ingredient. Okay, standard stuff. You expect something like that. A new way to reset. So they have some copy here, some USPs, some like they're just selling you unique selling propositions. They have some UGC content again, the same stuff. So you can see this one.
If you're still wondering if the viral Flewd
looks pretty native to the platform, which is very important with the whole caption and the whole aesthetic of the video, right? So that is pretty important. And then we have some featured by section. We have some social proof, and that's about it. That's kind of like all you need. You need a lot of social proof. You can see kind of like they have the landing page, and they're showing you they have like USPs, and they have social proof, and then they have comparison table, and then they have social proof, and then they have whatever. Okay, they have a lot of social proof, right? That's the main thing. Social proof is probably, especially when it comes to these kinds of products where they're making some big claims that are not very, that you don't see every day, that have some sort of a unique mechanism. So they're making a claim that you're going to feel less stress in about 15 minutes a day by using their product, right? And that is like cheaper than store-bought salts, and it's natural as well, and it's going to improve like your health and all of that stuff, right? So when it comes to products like this, especially in health industries, you need a lot of social proof, because people have been burned before. It's like one of the easiest way to actually scam people. Like, yeah, you're going to feel less stressed. Boom. And you buy it and it doesn't do shit. So you need a lot of social proof to actually make it believable. But when you actually make a lot of these social proof sections, so you see like UGC content, you see 2 million plus Stresscare soaks sold, 60-day guarantee, fast shipping, secure checkout. We have this like 4.9 out of 5 stars, 275,000 soak stands. So we have this section. Then we have this section here, testimonials. Then we have another testimonial section. So when you have that sort of stuff, it's going to make it way easier for you to actually sell it. So don't be afraid of including too many testimonials, because in reality, there are never too many testimonials. So here we are on the next or the second landing page. So we can see this more of a standard landing page where you have the headline. Okay, sorry about that. Headline, sub-headline, CTA. We have some social proof here. That's about it. We have a featured by section here. 82% of us are feeling burnt out. So they're telling you the kind of like the problem. You have a problem. 82% is a big percentage. It's very specific. I don't know how accurate this stat is, but if I were to pick a number, I'd probably go for something that is very high and that is it sounds believable, right? It's kind of like very specific and all that. So I don't know if it's true, but it sounds believable. That's what matters. They're telling you basically the problem. They're talking about the ingredients and how it helps to solve the problem. Defeat that fatigue. So again, some statistics. People love numbers, especially percentages and statistics and all that stuff. Because even if you don't know that it's true, like a lot of people, most of the people 99% of people are not going to go and Google this and fact check this. So even if you say it like this, people are just going to believe it right off the bat, even if it's not true. Even me in this video that are breaking down, who's breaking down this whole thing, I'm not going to go and Google this. I'm just going to believe them that 51% of us feel used up at the end of each and every day, especially when it comes to stuff like this. Like most people that are reading this, especially like 51% of us, of all people, feel used up at the end of each and every day. But probably like 100% of people that are reading this can probably relate to this because that's the reason they are on this page, unless they're making a YouTube video where they're breaking down the funnel and they're some sort of a marketing geek. But those are some weirdos, right? In cases like where people are actually here to consider buying their product, they are probably more like 99% of people. So it's super cool that you're just throwing some stats. That's something you should do in your marketing as well, in your email marketing, on your landing pages, on your ads, like stuff like this always works. Stats with specific numbers. Up to 70% of us have some stress caused anxiety, feel sluggish and drained. Again, the same thing applies to here. It is like up to 70% of all the people on Earth might feel that way, but more like 99% of people that are on this landing page feel this way because that's why they're here. Buy the bundle. Super simple. You just have to have CTAs in all parts of your landing page to make it convert better, because if people are here and they want you to buy because of this text here, you can buy, right? Because there is no CTA. So the only thing you can do is scroll back up and find a button and click it. By including a button here, you're just making it way easier for people to buy. Again, the same thing that I told you about, comparison table. It's a little bit different here, but overall the information is not the same. So you can see this serotonin production, serotonin synthesis, serotonin uptake. So you can see this is like probably the landing page that you come from, the ad that we talked about that talks about like serotonin production, what was there, cortisol and adrenaline. That's probably that landing page. So you can see they changed up the comparison table based on the actual ad you came from, which is pretty important, because people that are coming from that ad are not the same customer part of the customer journey as the other people that are coming from a different ad. So it's really important that you adjust the actual information that you're using to sell to people, because some people need to hear different stuff than the other people based on the actual part of the customer journey they're currently in. Then we have this 15-pack burnout fighting magnesium soaks. So they're just selling the product here. Again, they're trying to increase their AOV by selling you a bigger pack. Pretty standard stuff, nothing new here. They're not reinventing the wheel. They're just selling something that has been proven to work before. Then we have a lot of UGC content. Now you can see they're reusing the same one because why not? It has been effective, but that's really important. And you can see here they're not really including that much social proof, because I feel like this landing page is geared towards people that are mainly problem aware. They're just not that solution aware, I feel like. Actually, that might be wrong, honestly, because of these stats here. This is more like something that you tell to a problem aware, a person that is not problem aware, right? So that is weird. I would probably then include more. But yeah, they're probably not hard selling you here. I don't know. I'm not really a landing page expert again. I'm just I'm more like I understand marketing, but I understand email marketing really well. Then let's talk about email marketing actually. So actually, let's get back to our Figma file. So here we are. Once you're on the landing page, it did not show up to me, but it would show up to you. A pop-up form should pop up, right? The reason it did not pop up for me is because I already opted in on their list, but to you, it should pop up, right? So you can see this is a 4-step pop-up form. What's really interesting about this pop-up form is that it is a quiz-style pop-up form. So if you don't know what a quiz-style pop-up form is, I made a video about it, breaking down what it is, why it's so good, giving you examples, showing you exactly how to make it inside of Klaviyo, and like I literally give you the exact blueprint on how to create it and why you should do it. So there's a video on my channel. It's going to pop up right now, so you can actually go and watch it and apply it to your brand, because quiz-style pop forms are the future of email marketing, at least for now. This is like a new trend that people have been hopping on. All the biggest, fastest growing brands are using them, and they have been proven to convert way better than the traditional standard pop-up form. So what they are, so you can see here, you've got a mystery discount to really tell us what you struggle with the most. So the reason it's called the quiz-style pop form is, I hope, pretty obvious. It's like they're asking you a question. The reason this is working so well is, I'm going to explain to you right now, is because first of all, this here is called a micro commit stack. The reason it's called that is because I'm giving you a mystery discount. I'm giving you a chance to buy my product for less money. And the only thing you need to do is, at least that's what it seems right now, is answer this question. So it basically tells you, like, to reveal it, tell us what do you struggle with the most. So the only thing that is required from you is just pressing a simple button, answering a simple question. And that's a really easy way to get people into the whole process, into the whole pop-up form, right? So when you have that, that's why it's called a micro commit, because you're making a micro commitment to yourself with a really low barrier to entry step that you actually want this discount. Once you made that commitment, you're way more likely to actually complete the pop-up form till the end, because people like to be seen as consistent. People like to believe they're consistent. People like to believe. That's why people don't like to change, because change is difficult. You have to change your identity. Now, obviously, this is not going to really change your identity, but on like a micro level, during these couple of seconds that you're on their website, that you're like looking at their pop-up form, you labeled yourself as the person that wants a mystery discount, and you label yourself. You made a commitment to yourself that you want it. So now you're way more likely to actually get it, to actually complete all the steps and get it. Now, that is not to say that every single person that that actually presses this button that 100% of those people are going to give you their email. No, it's just going to increase the likelihood someone gives you their email. Now they have a second step here that is another question, which is pretty interesting. Usually with quiz style pop-up forms, what you see is a 4-step sequence, but you see only one question here that is a quiz style question. And then after that, you get an email input field here. And then the third step would be an SMS input field. And then the fourth step would be like, thank you, congrats, whatever, like completed step. But for these guys, they're not collecting SMS, which is pretty weird. I don't know why, but fine. Like SMS is very effective. I'm sure it would work for them, and especially during Q4, SMS is something you really want to dive deep into. You really want to use because it's very effective because people are getting their inboxes cluttered. So with SMS, it's kind of like you have a higher chance of standing out, especially against these brands that aren't using it. If you're in an industry that people are not really aware, SMS aware, that they could use it, you should definitely tap into that because that channel can bring you an extra 10%, 20%, who knows, of your total store revenue, which is pretty significant if you agree with me. But as I said, these guys, step 2, they have another question. So again, you got a mystery discount. One more question. How many bats do you take per month? So you can see here, first of all, you can see here that they're outlining the offer. They have a strong offer, which is a mystery discount. Now, the offer is not strong in terms of like the actual quantity of the discount because obviously they're not telling you what the discount is, but they're actually playing on the other side, which is curiosity. They're using that angle, which is like, you got the mystery discount, so it might be 5%, but it might be 50%. You don't know, right? So it's like people really, it's not even about how big the discount is. It's more like about, I want to see what the discount is. But whatever. They ask you a question, and then the second step here, as I said, they tell you one more question. This is to be like, okay, first time I was like, okay, I'm going to answer a question, but when the second question pops up, I want to know how many questions are there going to be. One more question: how many bats do you take per month? And this way they're telling you like, okay, answer this now, and that's it. Like you're going to claim your discount. So the reason it works so well, look, let's pretend I'm a customer. So okay, you've got the mystery discount. Okay, interesting. To reveal it, tell us what you struggle with the most. Okay, I can do that. So I struggle the most with stress. Boom, I click there, and then they're like, oh, another question. Oh my god! And then I read the question. One more question. Oh, okay. So just one more question. I'm just going to complete this and I'm going to get it. Like, fine, I already committed to it. I'm going to get it. That's basically what the customer's mind is saying, basically, like on a high level. So how many bats do you take per month? Really, a few times a week, every other day, almost daily. Now, when it comes to collecting this zero-party data, what it's called, honestly, this quiz style, for them, it might be something that they actually consider. They actually collect all of this data and they send different emails to different segments. They have people that are struggling with anxiety, with stress, with sleep, and they send different emails to people that are struggling with anxiety, then to people that are struggling with sleep. That might be the case. Also, this part here, like, for example, they have people that are taking baths every day that are like problem aware and like solution aware, but they're not product aware. They are aware, or they're the people that are taking baths every day, but they're not using their product. Or we have people that are not really taking baths, but then you need to educate them why you should take baths and why you should actually use Flewd when taking baths. So remember, like at this stage here, people have not converted yet. At this stage here, the reason we have this whole system here, this pop-up form, is to get people onto your email list. The reason we want to get people on your email list is because we want to nurture them into buying, right? So that's the idea. So that's what you need to remember. At this stage here, people haven't bought yet. They're not buyers. So we're collecting these data to actually be able to send them different content. At least that's what it seems like for these guys. In most cases, as I said, you're not really going to collect this. Like this here is, as I said, serving only as a way for people to get that micro commitment step. Also, people feel like they're going to get a personalized solution. So it feels like, okay, these guys are going to really solve my problem with sleep, for example, which is pretty important to people, obviously. And then also it might feel to people like they earned the discount. They feel like they worked for it. They feel like they completed a test in school, right? They worked for it. They went through the quiz. One question, two questions, boom, now I earned the discount. So they're going to value it more because, for example, when you earn your money, instead of it being given to you, you're going to value it way more and you're going to be way less likely to spend it in a stupid way. You're going to be way less likely to go to Vegas and blow it all, right? So that's the same with a discount. They're going to value it way more and they're actually going to be way more likely to use it because in this way, they're actually saving their money by buying it. It's a very actually weird psychological trick, but it works. And then step 3, we have the email input field. So here, they're just asking you for your email. So you can see how they say, reveal my discount. Super simple CTA. They're not overcomplicated. So you can see here, we have a headline, we have an email input field, we have a CTA. That's it. The reason they say reveal my discount is like they're basically telling you that this is the last step. Like, okay, now this is really the last step. You're going to get your discount. So that's it. You can see how they're not collecting first names, they're not collecting birthdays, last names, where are you from, or anything like that. The only thing they're collecting is their email address. So the reason that is because that's the only thing you need. Like that's the only thing you need to get people on the email list. Everything else is going to decrease your opt-in rate on your platform, and it's not really going to get you more revenue. Because if you collect first names, like you're not going to make more money by being able to say, hey, John, in one of your plain text emails that you send once every 10 days, but you're definitely going to be able to make more money by getting more people to actually sign up to your list and then receive your email. So I hope that makes sense. On your platform, the only thing you need to collect is your email addresses. And if you're collecting SMS, phone numbers, that's about it. You're not collecting first names, last names, birthdays, the name of their dog, where they're from, or anything like that. That's unnecessary completely. It's ruining your business. Then we have step 4. You're in, check your email for your mystery discount. So we have two kind of like beliefs here. Some people believe that you need to show them the discount right here when they complete it. And they're like, yeah, it's going to improve the shopping experience. It's going to increase your conversion rate and all of that stuff. Then we have the other belief that is like, yeah, you don't need to show it here. You should actually tell people to go check their email to claim the discount, because that way you're training people to open your emails immediately. You're conditioning them. I don't know, honestly. For some clients, we actually show the discount. Actually, for most clients, we show the discount here. But whatever, honestly, like, it doesn't really matter. Test it out. Even if you don't, it's fine. Like, especially if you're like a smaller brand, you shouldn't focus on this type of stuff, because let's say it makes like a 1% difference and you're making $50K a month. 1% is what, like $500? No, $5,000? No, $50K a month. Sorry. So it's $500. It's not really going to be a massive difference. The thing you need to actually focus on is actually sending those emails regularly, actually having a pop-up form that you're testing different offers. So instead, like, for example, for these guys, you're going to test it. You've got a mystery discount versus you've got 15% off. You've got a mystery discount versus you've got $20 off, stuff like that. That's the high leverage stuff. This stuff here is not really high leverage until you're making like 200K a month, 500K a month, 1 million a month, stuff like that. That's when it's actually going to make a difference to you. But at this point, it's not really going to make a difference. So don't stress over it. Don't really think about it that much. You're going to be fine. Now, how did they make this pop-up form? As I said, in that video where I talk about quiz-style pop-up forms, I show you exactly how to make it inside of Klaviyo. But this pop-up form and what we use to create pop-up forms for our clients is actually Alia Learn. So it's a software that literally specializes for creating quiz-style pop-up form. That the only purpose it has. So that's what we use. We have an agency partnership with them. So for every single client of ours, we actually use them to create their pop-up forms. And this is what it looks like, basically. So you have quiz-style pop-up form looking similar to this for your brand, and it works extremely well. Then let's get to the welcome flow. So this is what I received. Now, this welcome flow is extremely weird, in my opinion. This is what I received, only 3 emails. I don't know, honestly, what's going on with that. Do they have more emails, but they have smart sending turned on, so I haven't received them, or they have some sort of a weird segmentation with that. I don't really know what's going on there, but this is what I received. Maybe they only have 3 emails. That's not really effective. For your brand, I definitely recommend having at least 4, but probably closer to like 6, 8, maybe even 10. Probably like sweet spot would be 6 emails, 6 to 8 emails. That's what we like to do for our clients. 3 is just not enough. You just need more touch points. Even if people don't really buy from the later ones, you just want to remind people of your existence, right? So I recommend having 6 to 8 emails in your welcome flow. Now, if they were like a smaller brand, they're doing 20, 30K a month, whatever, 3 emails would be fine. But for these guys, they're pretty big, honestly. There's really no reason to have only 3 emails in your welcome flow. So I don't really understand why. Now, let's break down each email. We're probably not going to break down each email because they're going to be similar, but I'm going to point out the biggest mistakes they're making and the stuff I genuinely like. So first of all, this hero section here, I don't know what even to call it, this navigation bar is stupid. They need to get it out of this email because it's definitely ruining your conversion. Why is that? Because you're giving too many options to the customer. They have shop soaks, stress quiz, bundle and save. Then they're telling you free shipping on orders from $100 plus. Then they have the hero section. And then down here only, after scroll through the entire email, you can find your discount, which is very small. You can see how small it is. It's not very, it doesn't really capture attention, right? Like, this is way more in your face than your discount actually and your offer. Also remember that their offer is a mystery discount. So if you tell me I'm going to get a mystery discount, you better show me what the actual mystery discount is inside of an email. Make it big and bold. Like, hey, welcome to Flewd. Get 15% off your first order. Use this code. Boom, right here. That's what it should look like here. When you have, first of all, this is what we started talking about. When you have this stuff here, it's really going to confuse the customer because you're giving them too much option to click on. They're just going to wonder. It's not streamlined. Like, the point of this email is to get people to buy from you, right? That's the main point. So if you give them too much options to choose from, they're going to choose this easiest one. Like, giving people money, buying from someone, like spending money, is way more difficult than actually clicking on some stress quiz and taking a stress quiz because it's fun. So why would you give them a lower friction option instead of like being focused on sale, because that's your main goal? So I would just completely remove this. What that would do as well, first of all, it would just give people less options that aren't our main goal. But also what that would do is, because you removed this here, all of the stuff there, you basically have more space above the fold. So what that means is, above the fold is everything I can see in the email when I open it on my phone. So let's say I open it on my phone and this is what I see. If I were to remove this part here, I would see an extra, let's say this is 50 pixels, I would see an extra 50 pixels down here. So I would see maybe this, right? So if you remove that, you have more space to put more copy, a bigger button, bigger copy to capture and more attention and all that stuff in your above the fold section. Why is the above the fold section so important? It's important because when I open an email on my phone, especially the welcome email number one, that like this is some mandatory stuff you need to implement in your email marketing. When I open the first email in your welcome flow, I'm there to claim my discount. You told me on your pop-up form, hey, like, check your email to claim your mystery discount. So I'm here to find out what the discount is, so because it's a mystery discount, and I'm here to use it. So what you want to do, especially in this email, but in every single email, you want to have your offer above the fold and you want to have your button above the fold. So when I open this email on my phone, I need to be able to see, get 15% off, use this code, and click this button here to actually use it, right? And I want to be able to see all of that stuff without needing to scroll one bit, okay? So that's how you make your every single email, but especially welcome email number one, a high converting email. That's like the email marketing, high converting email marketing 101. That's the mandatory stuff. These are the foundations. So for this brand, I would remove all this and this stuff would be way different. This copy here. So it would be like welcome to Flewd or something like that. Whatever. This is basic, but you'd come up with some sort of a headline and then you'd have get 15% off your first order, use code, whatever their code is, de-stress now or whatever, shop 15% off, save now, stuff like that. That's the foundation of your welcome flow. Hero image is pretty good. I don't have anything bad to say about that. Then we get the code here. Then the second thing, this code is too long, honestly. I don't know why. So I would make it way shorter. Now the thing is, they could have done like welcome 15, but you can see they did Flewd something, right? So I guess this is random. I'm not sure. I can't really be sure. But the thing is, I mean, when I say random, I mean this is a dynamic code, so it's different for every single person. I don't know. By the way, if you want to use it, this is my code. You can use it right now. I don't mind. I'm not going to buy anything from them right now, so go ahead and use it. Anyway, another test you can do for your email welcome flow is testing different codes. So what I mean by that is you can test like something like welcome 15, Flewd 15, stress free 15, something like that for 15% off, or some random looking code. So they could have done like LFR3B. Or, for example, like SLFR3B, I prefer like 6 letters or 6 characters. Basically, you're going to have numbers as well. I like that. So I would do S7FR3B for 15% off. The reason you want to test that is because sometimes those random codes, people kind of like have been long enough in this whole ecom game and they know what, when I say people, I mean customers, right? And they know about the whole codes and all of that stuff. So they understand that when I have welcome 15, that is the code that is always live that I can always use. So when I try later on in the flow to instill some urgency, it's not going to work as well as if I had some sort of a code that looked random. At least it doesn't have to be random. It does not have to be a dynamic code, but just by it looking random, it might boost your conversion rate because when you're trying to instill some urgency later on in the flow, people are actually going to be like, okay, this code is personalized to me. This is my own code. So it might mean that it might actually expire. So let's actually use it. But when you have welcome 15, people are just going to be like, oh yeah, jackass, try to sell that to someone else. I know it already. I'm not stupid. This code is going to be live forever. It's obviously for every single person. Also, it just might feel like they might feel more important. People might feel more important because they got a personalized code that is only for them. So that's something you need to test out for your brand. So you need to test it out in your email welcome flow and your SMS welcome flow. I highly recommend you do. Then we have this part here. So 245 grams of stress-fighting nutrients. And so they're basically showing you the ingredients of their soaps, and that's about it. Super simple. I told you exactly what I would do. Also, another thing here, all ingredients. This is probably like going to take you to some page where you're going to read about ingredients. If that's the case, that's really stupid. What I would do here, I would just put the code again here, and the button that is actually going to take me to the product page or landing page or website or whatever, so I can actually go and use my discount. Because as I said, the only purpose of this email is to get people to buy from you. It's not about people reading the because here's the thing. Where marketing teams are creating these kinds of emails, they feel like, oh yeah, people are going to read every single word and they're going to scroll down and read this and then read this, and it makes sense to do it this way because then some people are going to get here and they're going to go and use the code, but some people might need more convincing. For those people, we're going to make this section and then they're going to read all ingredients and they're going to be like, okay, these ingredients are good, and then they're going to go on my website and navigate to the product and all of that stuff. It's not going to happen like that. Like, people are not going to go and read every single word of your copy, and they're not going to go and scroll down your email and read everything in a way you thought they should read it and go to your website and read your ingredients. It's not going to happen. You need to make your email fast-paced, skimmable, flashy, infographics, interesting to read, entertaining, providing value as well, but in a quick, fast-paced way. Like, people have been using TikTok for a couple of years now. They don't have that attention span that you are hoping for, that you require for your email to actually be read, right? You need to make it fast-paced, you need to make it valuable, you need to make it entertaining, and you need to make it easy for them to actually use your code. So that means have your code in your offer and your CTA above the fold. Have your code in your offer here as well. Have it here as well, so people can click it, can use the discount at every stage. So if you're there here in the email, they can use this one. They can use this one. If they're earlier on reading the email, they have not been scrolling that much, they can use this one. That's how you need to make your emails. Let's see this one again, the same thing. Remove this picture stretch wider. So you can see this. They're it seems like this is a dynamic code and it's not working for them for some reason. Now, the reason they're doing it this way, so this is basically made in Klaviyo. Natively, this is a block in Klaviyo that you can use like a text block, right? The reason they're doing it this way is because they have this very long dynamic code. So if you were to actually put it as an image inside of Figma, so that's how we design every single email. We designed it in Figma just like this, and then you click S, we slice it, we upload it to Klaviyo, and we just have images basically. Now these guys do like a mixture. They do some images and they do some Klaviyo blocks that are like HTML or whatever. The reason they're doing it this way, as I said, is because they have this really long dynamic code. Obviously, we just figured out that it is a dynamic code. And if you were to ask them just put it as an image, people wouldn't be able to copy it and paste it in their cart. So they need to put it this way so people can actually copy and paste it. Now that does improve your customer experience. But what you could do instead is just put this shorter code that people can actually memorize, right? And then that way you wouldn't even need to do it this way. And when I say shorter code, that means also that you just don't do a dynamic code, you just do a static code, which means that the code is always the same. So you can just put it in an image, and then people don't have to copy and paste it. So that's what I would do honestly. But you can do whatever you like. But if you do that this way, just make sure your code is working. Honestly, I don't really know why this isn't working, to be honest. It's very weird because this is what it should likely look like inside of Klaviyo. But whatever. This is literally, by the way, this is literally what I received in my inbox. So I'm not making anything up. I'm not trying to like belittle them or make fun of them or anything. I'm just curious, honestly, why this isn't working. I'm just telling you, hey, make sure your codes are working by sending a test email to your own inbox, right? So whatever. But the good thing about this email is that they have the code here. They should have the code here. They tried at least. And they have the CTA here. So this is what it should look like in this email as well. But they don't do it. Whatever. Product section. I really like their product section. That's something I always liked about this brand because it's super good. They feature these products. It looks super aesthetic. It has a lot of blank space. The products are like big. I really like when elements in the emails are big. So you have a big button. That's also side note. There's so much knowledge I have about this that I can't really stick to one subject because there's always something I can tell you. So make your buttons in your emails big. So if you were to put a button of this size here as your main CTA, that would be a complete disaster. Why? Because you're just making it more difficult for people to click and actually buy from you, right? So if we said that the main reason for your email is for people to actually buy, wouldn't it make sense to actually make it easier for you for them to buy from you? And if we're trying to make it easier for them to buy from you, doesn't that mean that you should make it easier for them to click? Because for them to buy from you, they need to click on your email and then actually go to the website. They can't really buy directly from the email. They have to click on your email that's going to direct them to your website, and then they're going to be able to buy. So if we have all of these conclusions that are true, isn't the main big conclusion that you should make your button bigger, because that's how you're going to make it easier for them to click, right? So that's something you need to do for sure. Make your buttons bigger. I'd probably even make this even bigger because when you compare it to this headline, it's small. Everything is relative, especially when it comes to size of your text, of your buttons, of everything, right? So if you have a really big headline, this headline is pretty big, like in terms of font, you should definitely have a bigger button. So that's what I would do here. This copy as well, mainly because it's about the offer. So since it's like the offer and the code and all that, I would make it bigger because relative to this headline, this copy here and this button here does look a little bit small, but overall this button is fine in terms of size because I've seen way smaller buttons people are putting in their emails in their hero section as their main CTA. So that's something you need to fix ASAP if it's not the case in your email marketing, right? But let's get back to the product section. So as I said, I always love their product section because they have it looks pretty aesthetic with the whole shadow thing. It's like big, the product is big. They have the main headline, crush all that panic, squash your fiery rage, melt away muscle ache. So it's kind of like you're strong healed here and you're just skimming these headlines and you're looking for the one that's going to resonate with you. So I'm scrolling, crush all that panic, yeah, melt away muscle, smash away smash away those sads. I'm feeling sad or whatever. And then I'm going to read what it is about. Now, this supporting copy is also very short, which is not something you see a lot of times. A lot of times, the format is you have the headline that is bold, that is in a different color, that's there to hook your attention. You're scrolling, you're trying to find something that resonates with you. And then once you find it, you have way more supporting copy that's going to sell you the product. What they're doing is they're just being very clear, very direct. Magnesium, vitamins B, B3, and B6, plus nootropics, lift away heavy feels. That's it. Save 15%. Why they're saying save 15%? Because you're going to use your 15% off code, obviously. Also, what you can notice is they have a CTA for every single product. That's something that's very, very, very important. Why is that? Because if I want this product, how else am I going to buy it if I don't have a button that is this product specific? So that's also something you need to implement in your emails from today. Then we have whatever this is, the product section. Read the D in our FAQs. FAQs, why would you put FAQs here? What I would do here instead of this FAQ section, I would remove this completely and I would just here, like make some more space and put this part here. Just put your code, use code, whatever the code is, for 15% of your first order at checkout or whatever, something like that, and put a big CTA that is like a general CTA that's going to take them to your product page or your bestsellers page or your website or whatever. And that's it. That's how I would do this email. But honestly, this email is way better than this one, but still it has a lot of improvement. There are a lot of improvements to be made here. I don't really want to break down this one because we're going to say basically the same stuff here. You got the idea of what you need to improve. So remove this, put a bigger CTA, put a CTA above the fold in every single email, make your offer work actually, first of all, and then make it bigger so people actually see the offer because that's what they're here for. This is pretty good. And remove these unnecessary sections and put a big CTA, that is general CTA, at the end of every email, and put your offer there just to remind people. And if they want to actually shop there, they can actually click there instead of scrolling up here to find the button. Now, site abandonment. Now, what is interesting about site abandonment is that when I signed up to their email list and left the website, I received the welcome number 1 and site abandonment at the same time. Literally, it was like 10, 12 a.m. or something like that. I received both emails at the same time, which means for the welcome flow, obviously you want to deliver it as soon as I sign up to the list. But for site abandonment, it seems like they don't have a time delay. Now, that is not a very, very good practice, honestly. What you would like for your site abandonment is usually like a 2-hour delay. Obviously, this is something you need to test for your brand. It's going to be either 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, 90 minutes, 3 hours, stuff like that. That's something you want to test, like time delays between site abandonment flows, the first email, right? But overall, like 0 minutes is not something you really want to do. So that's the first thing I would change about this. So that's what you need to keep in mind. Like time, it's not really even about the email you send. It's also about when you send it. So obviously, you can't really target the exact time of the day for every single prospect. I mean, actually, you can even do that inside of Play, but it's not really going to be a smart decision. But what is it going to be a smart decision is setting time delays and then testing, split testing, that sort of stuff. But anyway, the same thing here. Remove this. Welcome to the Flewdiverse, whatever. This is fine. They have a headline, they have a sub headline, and they have a CTA. What I would do here, obviously, make this CTA way bigger, literally 2 or 3 times as big. They have a hero image that's nice, speaker stress fighter. So again, product section, the same thing. Press that panic, melt away muscle aches, smash away overwhelm, bundle, and save. That's it. Try our 2-minute quiz. Now, in this instance, this is pretty good because if you're like, basically the idea of a site abandonment flow is someone got on your website, they were like on your homepage or whatever, they have not checked out any specific product, they were maybe on your bestsellers page, but they haven't seen any specific products, they haven't added anything to cart, they haven't started checkout or anything further down the funnel. This is the first step of your funnel. So what you want to do here is literally just show some products to people, right? Literally just remind them of your existence and show them some products, because in some cases people just don't know where to start, because your website or all of your products, if you have multiple products, might seem a little bit too overwhelming to them. So what you want to do is just literally just show them the products you have, and that's going to be enough in most cases for some people to convert. And they did that very well in this email. This email is pretty good in my opinion. So they're showing you the products. It's super simple, super minimalistic. They have CTs for every single product. They don't have too many. They have 4. That's about it. Now, the 2-minute quiz is something I do like in this instance, actually, because for some people, you can see here, a simple, fast quiz to help find the perfect stress care soaks just for you. The idea is, I came to your website and I'm not sure what I want to buy. So in this instance, it might make sense to actually show me a quiz that's going to help me find the best product for me. I have not taken this quiz, but I'm pretty sure the way it works is just like, I click this button, I go to a website, it redirects me to your website, I take the quiz, which is obviously super short, like 2 minutes, and you recommend me a specific product. The way you're going to recommend me a specific product is by literally showing it on your website, so I can literally buy from there, which is it seems like it is a pretty seamless transition. It's not like go take a quiz on this website here and then manually come back to my website and type the name of your product that you got recommended in your quiz into my search bar. It's like too much friction. This seems like it's very frictionless, and it does seem like it does suit this site abandonment flow very well. So I really like this site abandonment email. Again, I've just removed this, make this bigger, and that's about it. Overall, it's pretty good. Now, these are the flows. I have not taken their abandoned cart, abandoned checkout flows, all that stuff. We're not going to dive deep into that. Let's talk about their weekly emails that they're sending on a weekly basis. So let's take a look at the frequency first. You can see here, 2nd of September, 3rd of September. So this is Labor Day sale. But we have 6th of September, 9th of September, September 11th, 13th, and then today, this is 15th. So they're basically sending every other day. So you can see a big pause here because they just had a sale. Big pause. It was like 3 days. They're usually doing 2 days. You can see here. So they just had a sale. They want to kind of like calm down a little bit another day, and then boom, back to the usual frequency. So you can see that's what we recommend as well. So sending 3 to 4 times a week, or basically sending every other day, is going to be perfect for most brands, especially if you're not like really small. If you're like doing 50K a month or above, you're going to be safe sending 3 to 4 emails a week, and that's something we recommend as well. That's something we do for our clients. So don't be afraid of like spamming your list, getting people to unsubscribe, annoying people, and all that stuff, because it's not going to happen if you're sending actually good emails. So for example, you can take a look at this email. What is a norepinephrine? Okay, so this is adrenaline in your brain from what I know. But anyway, why this email is not going to spam people? Because this is actual value. You're educating people. People love learning. The problem with that is that people don't love going to the library, finding a book, and then reading a book that has a lot of scientific language that is very difficult to understand to a common folk, right? But if you make a nice flashy email with a nice design, with a nice image like this, a lot of colors and all of that, and you frame it in a simple way, and you use some jargon that people use from TikTok and Instagram and all that, and you're like sounding like you're actually from that age group, from your age demographic that you're targeting, that people can actually resonate with. People are actually going to love reading your email because they're going to learn about norepinephrine in 30 seconds, which is super attractive to people because they, as I said, they love learning. They just don't really like putting too much effort into it because sometimes it might feel very difficult. So as I said, these are the emails you need to send. You're sending 3 to 4 emails a week, and most of them are actually educational emails like this one, are entertaining emails. You're providing value. You're showing some social proof. You're sending emails from the founder. Now, what I see these guys are lacking are plain text emails. So plain text emails, as the name says, are the emails that are just text. It's basically the email you would like open your Gmail and click new email and just type out an email. That's what it looks like. Like it feels like you received this from a friend. That's a very good strategy that most fastest growing brands, that's something what we do for our clients, are using, right? You basically send emails that are plain text from the founder, and it's something, it feels like personal. Like when I say these emails, this email is like an email from the brand. It doesn't have a person behind it. When I receive an email that's like plain text, it speaks directly to me like, hey there, I saw you haven't used your discount code. I really recommend you do because it expires in 12 hours and stuff like that. That's something people really like because people buy from people. People don't buy from faceless corporations. Now, there is a big side note to this. If you overuse plain text emails, they're going to get less effective. And when I say people buy from people, they don't buy from corporations. That doesn't mean that you only send plain text emails. Still, most of your email marketing are going to be these kinds of design emails that has that design copy, flashy copy that isn't really direct response. That's more of just like supporting the design and all of that. But let's say once a week, once every 5 emails, you're sending one plain text email. That's the strategy basically. And then if we're running a sale, you send a plain text email around the sale, like, hey, this is your last chance to use your discount. If you're not running a sale, you just might send like a plain text email from the founder that says like, hey, we just made a new YouTube video, for example, if you guys are doing YouTube for your brand. Or you're just literally talking about anything from the founder. You could come up with a lot of different angles, and that's something these guys would really benefit from because they're working, as I said, really well. The thing with it is just don't overuse them, or they're going to become less effective because if people see them all the time, they're just not going to have that like wow effect. The idea of a plain text email is a pattern interrupt. So let's say we have design, plain text. It like interrupts the pattern, and that's what it has such a good it works so well basically. So these are the emails you send. We can take a look at another one. So not here. For the highs and lows. So when it comes to norepinephrine levels, balance is key. So you can see is key with 3 E's. That's what I'm talking about. You want to be speaking to your exact demographic in the way they speak to each other. You want them to read your email and feel like, okay, these guys are cool. They understand it. Like if I were to come this and say this to someone who is 80 years old, nothing against people that are 80 years old, that isn't really into the whole internet thing, and they don't really speak this way with all lowercase, for example. That's how people type on their phones. Balance is everything and all that stuff. People would be like, what the fuck is this? But for someone who's young, who's into the whole biohacking and all of that stuff, like self-care, stress care, and stuff like that, this is going to be, they're going to resonate a lot with this. And that's what I'm talking about here. It's not really about using some direct response tricks and frameworks and stuff like that. It's more about having copy that's flashy, that is funny, that is interesting, that kind of like resonates in terms of the format, that's easy to skim because people are not going to read it. Now this here, for example, when it comes to norepinephrine level balance is key, I would make this stand out more honestly. It's like, might be difficult to see for some people, but overall, this email is pretty good. Another thing I would add here is a general CTA. So let's say people are here, like this one, they scroll down, they take a look at all the products, they don't want any of these, but they might want to buy from you still, right? They want to explore other products. You add a general CTA here saying shop now or explore bestsellers or browse bestsellers or something like that, browse more, add it here, and that's it. So overall, that's the entire final breakdown of Flewd. I hope you got value from this video. It has been a very long video, but I really hope that I taught you at least something, at least when it comes to email marketing, because that's, as I said, my area of expertise, and also as you could see. So that's it for this video. Now, if you're an e-com brand that's doing 50K a month or more in revenue, you can book a call with me below, first link in the description. I'm going to audit your entire klaviyo account or entire email marketing strategy. And if you see we're a good fit, I'm going to run your entire email marketing on a purely performance basis. It means there's literally no risk for you. We're literally going to only charge you based on the results we generate. Basically, only a percentage of email generated revenue, which means that you can never actually make it not profitable, right? So if that sounds interesting to you, as I said, first link in the description is my calendar link. You can book a call there, and then we're going to speak over the next couple of days. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.